This is indeed a disturbing universe.
Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about Homer's Night Out. It was episode number 7G10. It originally aired on March 25th of 1990, and it was the 10th episode to air in the series. It was written by John Vitti and directed by Rich Moore. And of course, the showrunners for season 1 were Matt Groening, James L. Brooks, and Sam Simon. So if you asked me if you should skip this episode, I'd say this is another one where you can flip a coin. John Vitti is a good writer and I like him, but in my opinion this script is poorly written. The plot heavily features what is considered to be adult entertainment, but it's like it was written in the 1950s. So as far as the story goes, it doesn't really fit in with the rest of the series. But regardless, the jokes are still good enough to keep me entertained for the entire 23 minutes. So let's analyze Homer's Night Out.
Hi, this is Matt Groening.
And this is Rich Moore, the director of this episode.
And this is John Vitti, the writer.
Well, no one seems to have any comments to make on this chalkboard gag, huh? This joke was written before feminism destroyed everything.
Now, this main title sequence was inspired by the Fred Flint, the Flintstones.
Fred rushing home.
Yeah.
The original Flintstones.
Yeah.
Titles.
And I thought that the animation would be better, actually.
All right, I'm leaving.
So when the episode begins, Homer is getting ready for work and mentions the birthday party that he went to the day before for his assistant, Eugene Fisk.
I remember there was much discussion whether she should be brushing side to side or up and down.
We made a conscious decision to put him in briefs rather than jockeys. Yeah, the comedy version.
Now remember, it's very hard to figure out how much Homer weighs exactly. 239 pounds.
Yeah, that's one of those magic scales that has 239 actually printed on it.
Then he gets on the scale and becomes very upset about his weight of 239 pounds and vows to never eat sweets again. Meanwhile, Bart is ordering a spy camera.
Oh, hey, it's bandaged together, taped together from when Homer smashed it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Then we get a very rare 6-month time skip, and Homer is getting ready for work once again. This time he mentions that he's going to a bachelor party on Friday night for Eugene Fisk, who is now his supervisor. And then he gets upset about his weight of 239 pounds again.
That's a good shot.
I never knew if people would be able to read that that's the light fixture on the ceiling.
Homer's starting to sound a little bit more like his second season self.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, it's the female man.
Female carrier, Bart.
Lady, where's my spy camera?
So we have the first appearance of the female man, and I'm not exactly sure how many times she shows up in the series, but I'm pretty sure we see her again at some point.
Is this Maggie Roswell's first appearance?
I think it might. I think it is.
Where's my spy camera? Where is my spy camera, lady?
6 months.
Where is my spy camera?
Where's my spy camera?
Where's my spy camera?
Here's your stupid spy camera.
Oh, thanks, man.
The doors stopped bending, I think, after this.
What is this thing?
When they get slammed.
Really work?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we were ambitious back then. Yeah. Now we're just tired and...
Again, very daring for its time. Things were very conservative in the early 1990s.
We're going to be careful about how that was depicted.
Mom, Bart was taking a picture of his butt.
Oh, sure, like I'm really gonna take a picture of my butt.
Oh, stop it, you two.
Hey, we got to say butt a lot.
Yeah.
Stop it, you two.
Now we say ass.
And put on some nice clothes. Since it's just the 4 of us tonight, we're having dinner at the Rusty Barnacle.
Yay!
Which of course is the same restaurant where the bachelor party is being held.
Smoke level just really adds a lot of tawdriness to this whole thing. It's not disgusting.
Well, these are
I mean, they really
people.
overdid it.
I love you, Dad. I love you, son.
Where am I? The planet Cornball?
I remember that was something that Sam actually said to one of the animators. Where are you from? The planet Cornball? We all fell on the floor laughing, so that's how they got in this show.
So this is our first appearance of Carl Carlson. And technically, this is Lenny's first appearance as well, even though we already saw him in Life on the Fast Lane.
Ain't you hungry, Homer?
But this episode was actually written before that one. So technically, Homer's Night Out is the first appearance of both characters. But in Life on the Fast Lane, they actually got Lenny's voice correct. In Homer's Night Out, Lenny is played by Hank Azaria instead of Harry Shearer, and he sounds a little like Mo Sizlak. And Carl is played by Harry Shearer instead of Hank Azaria, and he sounds a little like Ned Flanders. So really, this is more of a proto-Lenny and Carl, if anything.
I'm proud to say I'm the creator of Lenny and Carl, perhaps the richest of all Simpsons characters.
Hey, don't worry. Things are going to pick up once the entertainment gets here.
Ooh, entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. The party next door seems to be a little raucous. Could you please ask them to quiet down a little bit, please?
Aye, aye. Hey, try and keep it down, guys, okay?
Hey, shut up.
Wasn't the original line "Go to hell"? I seem to remember that.
Now, John, isn't that this cod platter gag yours too?
Yeah, I spent a whole afternoon on this anagram. I should have been working on Act 2, but I got obsessed with it.
It was worth it.
Now you can get anagrams off the internet, like anagram makers.
Well, this was pre-internet. We used an abacus for it.
Here you go. There you are. For the baby. And one squid platter. Extra tentacles.
Bart.
Now, there's a cartoon convention I think we used only once.
We did it on the Tracy Ullman show and the old shorts,
turning
too.
green. Yeah.
Presenting Princess Cashmere, Queen of the Mysterious East.
So we have the first appearance of Princess Cashmere. She shows up in subsequent episodes more often than you might think she does.
Now, of course, this is our euphemistic version of a bachelor type party.
I was always proud that people on the internet noticed that she was coming out of the kitchen and there was a angry dishwasher back in there watching her eggs. It's the little things.
Oh, this is the most fun I've ever had in my life.
We used that camera effect a lot in the first season of the flash and the twist out on the photos.
The meeting of the Future Photographers of America is now in session.
So you may have noticed they didn't get Russi Taylor to do the voice of Martin Prince for this episode. And to me, it sounds like Pamela Hayden. But according to the internet, it's Joanne Harris. And I suppose the internet is correct on this one since her name is in the credits.
And this was a big deal to put a red gel over the scene. We wanted it to look like a dark room.
My goodness, quite exciting.
Extremely sensual.
These tunnel gray tones recall the work of Helmut Newton.
Ah, sophisticated reference.
Yes,
Helmut Newton. That's pretty good.
So Helmut Newton was the dictionary definition of the term disgusting old photographer. This guy was famous for taking pictures that ended up in Vogue magazine, and most of the pictures he took were of women doing disgusting things. Here's an example of one of his less disgusting photos. These girls look really young, and apparently he talked them into going out in the middle of nowhere with him and convinced them to put on bikinis so that he could take pictures. Yeah, real sophisticated reference, Matt Groening.
Who's the sexy lady, Bart? Beats me, but the guy dancing with her's my pop. Wow! He brings to mind the later work of Diane Arbus.
Oh, there you go, Diane Arbus. I once said in an interview that I said this facetiously, that Bart was based on a photo by Diane Arbus of that kid in Central Park holding the toy hand grenade in his hand, which it's not. And I got a letter from the guy in the photo saying he grew
wanting
up
some money.
No, he just said no. He was actually very appreciative, and he said he just wanted to reassure he grew up to be very regular Cool, normal guy.
So Diane Arbus was famous for taking pictures of freaks during their most intimate, vulnerable moments. And the way she made that possible was by pretending to be the friend of her subject. She would get to know them and gain their trust, and then when they got comfortable enough to do something private in front of her, her camera would come out and she would take a picture and capitalize on it. And I suppose it wasn't the greatest lifestyle choice for her, because she eventually ended her own life without saying why.
I think if one's going to kill oneself, the least you could do is leave a note. It's common courtesy. I don't know. That's just the way I was brought up.
So there it says copies 5 cents and 10 cents. So if the fans would please stop reminding me of that, I'm sorry.
According to the internet, this character's name is Freddy. Whatever you say, internet.
What exactly are they excited about with that photo?
Well, I think, yes, I've that's a very good criticism of the story. I think George Meyer brought it up once. It's not nearly an exciting enough photo
well, wasn't the whole thing inspired by the Rob Lowe tape?
Yes.
And therein lies my problem with this episode. Earlier, when I said I believe this episode is poorly written, this is what I was talking about. The reaction to the photo just doesn't work. Plus, if this was supposed to be an analogy of the Rob Lowe scandal of 1988, the reaction in this episode doesn't fit that scandal either. At least not to normal people.
For anyone who doesn't know, 1988 was the tape scandal.
I invented it. I invented it. It was the night
that did invent this tape.
Yeah, I invented it.
At a time when now they're just everywhere. Everybody has one, but that
and the problem was I didn't make any money off of it like everybody does now.
No.
I was too stupid.
No.
Gee, I wonder why Rob Lowe hasn't capitalized on his scandal tape from 1988. My guess is it's because the girl was 16. It's not exactly legal to capitalize on such things. But this guy didn't let that stop him.
This is Al Goldstein from Midnight Blue. We have a doozy tonight. What Maury Povich and Current Affair did not have the balls to do, we do. That's right. Rob Lowe. You're going to see his You're going to see the man We're going to show you the unedited tape that's been the hit of Atlanta. It cost us $15,000 for this tape. You're going to see it first, unedited, on Midnight Blue tonight. Keep watching.
Homer Simpson, sir. A low-level employee in Sector 7G.
Simpson, eh? Family man?
Wife and 3 kids, sir.
That's Burns' old office. First season office. Before the vaulted
is that bear
ceiling.
Yellow too? The bear is yellow too. So the white polar bear is also yellow.
What are we laughing at?
One glazed and one scratch and win, please.
You look familiar, sir. Are you on the television or something?
Sorry, buddy, you got me confused with Fred Flintstone.
We were very proud of that joke, I remember. The Fred Flintstone thing.
Boo! Liberty Bell. Another Liberty Bell. One more and I'm a millionaire. Come on, Liberty Bell. Please, 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 please.
Oh, the please, please, please was also very early.
Hey, looking good.
No! That purple fruit thing. Where were you yesterday?
Hey, looking good.
First season looking extra. You could always tell them because they had big spaces between their teeth. The teeth didn't overlap.
What is the meaning of this?
That was like she was off screen for most of this.
It's meaningless, Marge. Don't even attempt to find meaning in it. There's nothing between me and Princess Cashmere.
Princess who?
Hey, my photo.
Your photo?
Uh-oh.
Why, you little...
Why, you big... Bart, go to your room.
I'm out of here.
Wow, I didn't remember Marge strangling Homer.
Yeah, I think that was the first time someone else strangled Homer.
Well, Bart has strangled Homer back.
Yeah.
But where will I sleep?
My suggestion is for you to sleep in the filth you created.
Good pose.
Yeah,
sleep
no,
in the filth
there's
you created.
some great layouts in this episode.
Would a motel be okay?
Is this the first one you directed from the start, or did you have 7 from the beginning?
No, actually, this was in production also. But I kind of went back in and reworked it from scratch.
So, where you staying tonight, Homer? Motel, I guess. Oh, no.
We got Barney's
Kinda
hair color.
soft.
For the first several episodes, it was yellow.
So Barney's hair color already changed to brown in the Telltale Head. But Matt Groening didn't show up for the commentary for that one.
Hey, it's Homer Simpson! It is kid, Bart. Let's go! Bring him out!
So this was based on a apartment that Jim Reardon and a few other animators and I shared.
Yeah, it looks like my apartment.
College.
With the big spool for coffee.
And couch from an alley, and there's a Humphrey Bogart poster in one corner, Simpsonized. So, the same way you spent all that time on that anagram, I spent like a day designing this background, this location.
Look, Barney. See the row of tiny lights up there?
So according to the internet, the lights of the city are in the shape of Marge's angry face. Whatever you say, internet.
I wonder when Dad's coming home.
Oh, I remember a note in the direction I gave to not have the anymore, and it just make it lip smacking, because I got tired of the
I'll have to say this is one of my, even though it's one of the earliest things I directed, it's one of the scenes I'm most proud of.
I think it made an impression because right around here was when Burns Mania set in with the writers. By the beginning of the second season, after Swartzwelder wrote Burns runs for governor, all anybody wanted to write was Mr. Burns.
Help me, Simpson. Tell me your secret. Now return to your work and tell no one of what transpired here.
I like that hidden turn from the smile to the sad face. You don't see the emotion actually change.
Come on, Marge. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Homer, you don't even know why you're apologizing.
Yes, I do. Because I'm hungry. My clothes are smelly, and I'm tired.
I guess she gave up on breaking up with him in later seasons.
She's going to have an affair pretty soon. This is something we don't do as much, with the extreme close-ups, the character way up in the foreground and the person behind him.
I want Bart to see you apologize for the way you treated her.
Okay, your wish is my command, my little...
Do it!
Wow, that's a long time going without a laugh.
Yeah, I know.
Marge got...
John, what were you thinking?
Marge
trying to make some kind of point here.
Homer did such awful things in the seasons to come, and she just took it.
Yeah.
She was really mad about this photograph.
And that's actually based on the Seventh Veil Club in Hollywood, that exterior. Not that I would know what it looks like, but we actually went around Hollywood taking pictures of strip clubs for the exteriors of these buildings.
Just let me say that it is an honor to have Springfield's #1 swinger here with us.
Get that!
Even people in nudie clubs were impressed by how raunchy that photograph was.
It's just so tawdry.
There she is. Hey, Princess! It's me, the guy from the snapshot.
Oh, hi.
Wow.
Now there's an action figure. I think you should make those
I'm here because I
dancing girls.
Showgirls? No, it was. I can't draw attractive women very well in this style. And to be able to actually do that was, I had no idea that we could actually pull it off.
I always liked the look of, that it was still very cartoony, but it had a kind of a sexiness to it.
Could you tell him a little bit about yourself?
Well, my real name's Shauna Tifton. My pet peeve is rude people.
Once again, Homer unaware that he's moving.
And my turn-ons include silk sheets and a warm fireplace.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We'll be on it.
I remember when I read the script that this seemed like a really complicated setup to set up, to get him up in a cage hanging over the stage and the show going on underneath him.
It's a very gratuitous story move. The only point of it was to make you animate a production number.
Thank you for that, John.
They could love their wives alone, but I think that's just foolish.
So this is the first appearance of Gulliver Dark. And I didn't know this character's name. I had to look him up. But I suppose I should know his name since he does reappear in one of my favorite episodes.
Hey, it's the guy from the picture. Homer Simpson.
Mr. Burns actually recognized Homer Simpson there. That's probably the only time ever.
That's true.
He recognizes them sometimes within an episode.
If it's within 72 hours.
It's within an episode, but then for the next episode he won't remember. Sometimes we forget to write that in, and we have to remind ourselves to remember that Mr. Burns doesn't remember.
I remember the character designer must have designed 50 different international showgirls for the sequence.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And only 4 are ever seen on screen. So.
Right. Wow, this is
that
great.
was really complicated to lay out.
Well, I always thought that one of the amazing things about this show was that we would throw these incredibly complicated scene descriptions at you guys. You know, the stage full of dancing girls or a parade of elephants or whatever, and you'd actually do it.
It was actually a reverse incentive system. We just noticed the best shows were the ones where we made the animators do the most work.
It's a fine place to finally spring that on me, guys. The microphone in front of me.
Marge! Oh my God! Look at those tears.
Yep.
How did Marge get here?
That I've always wondered. I guess when he was on the phone talking to her, when he's saying he's going to one last place, he must have mentioned what the place was. So
I hope so.
Yeah, I just directed the thing. She just needed to be there.
Keep in mind that's the writer of the episode asking how Marge got there. And this commentary was recorded about 11 years later, so it's understandable he doesn't remember everything. But I just can't help but wonder how much care he put into the writing of this script.
Alright, folks, show's over. No more to see, folks, come on. Only sick people want to see my folks kiss.
Another good one.
Well, thank you. They still look so crude, the first season ones.
Well, I feel a little bit like Walt Disney watching Steamboat Willie,
Yeah, but you can see that the staging was there, the acting, sometimes the animation was a little mushy, but the turns were, they were there.
So with Homer's Night Out, you can really see the show coming along. It looks a lot better, the pacing is starting to speed up a bit, and I think the dialogue and jokes really took a step up in this one. At the end of the day, Homer's Night Out is not exactly the episode we're asking for, but we end up with something worth watching for the entire 23 minutes, despite the somewhat mediocre writing. So I like this episode, I just don't love it. So with that, I'm moving on to the Crepes of Wrath. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.